Good evening and welcome to Calgary, Alberta, Canada, as we take a look at downtown Calgary on this not so bad day. A little bit of rain earlier here today. So we bring you into Canada Olympic Park, Canada's Sports Hall of Fame there. You see on the left, the red building, and we are going to come inside the Winsport Arena to bring you the LGT World Women's Curling Championship in this beautiful venue that has been home to the curling bubble. This is the final event of a total of 7 that have been held here, and we have our feature game here in session 6 between Japan and China. Let's meet the teams. Lead, Yumie Funayama. Second, Anna Omiya. Third, Kaho Onodera. And the skip from Japan, Sayaka Yoshimura. And Team China at lead, Ji Yang Shindi. At second, Zhongli Jun. At third, Dong Ji Chi. And skip is Han Yu. And a quick update here on our standings. RCF, Scotland, Switzerland, Sweden all lead with 3 wins and 0 losses. Czech Republic at 2-1. China, Japan both at 1-1. Canada 1-2. Denmark 1-2. Germany and the United States all at 1-2. Estonia, Italy, Korea are all looking for their first win. Here are all the matchups tonight. Our feature game is on Sheet A. Sheet B, Korea and Germany. Sheet C, big matchup between RCF and Canada. And Sheet D, the United States against Italy. As we take a look at our teams getting ready, I'm Jill Officer, and I'm joined by Olympic and world champion, Kevin Martin. And we will bring you here all the action on this sheet tonight. Kevin, what can you tell us about these teams? Have you had a chance to see much of them?
We have, actually, yes. And I'll tell you what, one person that has definitely impressed me is Onodera for Japan at the throwing third rocks. Fantastic player. So, and Team China, the skip, fantastic player. So very impressed with both of those individuals, and I believe this is going to be a very, very close game.
Yeah, we watched a bit of the Chinese team earlier today. I had a chance to catch them, and yes, the skip made some really great shots, and they struggled a little bit with the ice and just getting the rock in the right spot, so hopefully they'll manage that better this evening.
So much curl, especially when the rocks, not so much to the button, but as soon as you get over the center line, they really go, and that's something that seems to be tricking some of the teams a little bit, but it is very important to get onto it because I don't think it's going to change.
Yes, I agree, and from the last stone draw prior to the game, China will have the last stone advantage, so we will see Japan up first. Han Yu is only 20 years old, but has a lot of potential, it sounds like. Mike Harris was saying earlier that the national coach, Pia Lindholm, sees a lot of potential in her, kind of like an Anna Hasselborg, a young Anna Hasselborg.
I hadn't seen her play, but I'd heard, because I've been running junior bonspiels and academies for years, and I heard about this phenom, this young lady from China, and now I finally got to watch, and yes, scary good.
So we see the first rock from Yumie Funayama, the lead for Japan. She also holds the broom for Skip Sayaka, pardon me. So Japan going in on their first one here.
And I would say this makes a lot of sense to keep things fairly simple when getting the broom in the right spot for the weight is a bit of an issue. So take the first end, figure out the ice a little bit.
24-year-old lead, Jiang Shindi.
Definitely going to want to stay in the house on this one. Happen to roll out. You might see a guard thrown. That's okay.
Moving out to the wings here.
This one is out though.
Yeah, and
Way.
looks like it's just keeps falling out a little bit too.
Definitely slid a little bit wide on that one. So an opportunity now to split the rings. I guess the good news, if you're going to miss one, miss it early in the end. Got some time to recover.
So we take our first look at 31-year-old Anna Omiya, the second for this Japanese team. This is Anna's 4th World Championship.
Has plenty of weight, wanting it straight across from the other red stone. Not too bad. There's definitely no double yet.
Twenty-four-year-old Zhang Li-jun.
Would like to roll a little bit towards the center line and maybe set up a double for later. That actually almost over curled too much and missed, but got enough to get it out. There is that big abrupt curl that you need to be paying attention to.
Just to review our rules of play, 6 ends minimum the teams are required to play, 38 minutes of thinking time, and each team gets one 60-second timeout.
This weight looks perfect. Just in front of the tee line, straight across. Excellent.
Nice.
Nice. Team China needs to stick around here and get a roll over into the 4-foot circle. Try to set up for a double possibility to get out of this situation.
Again, that one finishes and over curls on them, and they roll out.
A very stress-free end for Team Japan so far. Splitting the house, rolling out, splitting the house. So not a lot of difficult shots.
Well, this is the one you talked about in the beginning, Kevin. 3rd, Kaho Onodera, 29-year-old.
Yeah, slides very straight to the broom. Very nice release. So for the skip, very easy to read where the rock's going to end up.
So is China just not anticipating the curl here, Kevin, or what are you seeing?
I think so. Yes, I think it's just a matter of believing, and that's a lot of ice for a hit.
It is.
So
yes.
you've got to believe. Okay, I can throw it way out there, and it's going to curl enough, and that's a little tough to do when you're not used to this type of curl. It's a lot.
Chinese third, Dong Ziqi.
This looks good.
Actually trying to make it curl a little bit this time.
Much better though. Give it a chance. Because you never know, in an attempt to hit and stay, Team Japan, they might roll to the center line and give the double.
Or a rollout.
Or, oh, certainly, or a rollout. Absolutely. This is far more difficult than a draw to the rings.
And this really curling, but has some nice weight, so it sticks around on the edge of the rings.
Yeah, that's about as good a setup as you're going to get for a force. Exactly even and 11 feet apart.
China switching turns here. A little bit forced too, I suppose. It's a little wide to go on the other side.
Whatever you're most comfortable with this a shot this far out. Hit that right back there. Now there will be a double if this is a hit and stay. So you'll have a chance on the skippers first, probably.
Sayaka Yoshimura, skip of this Japanese team. This is her second World Championship appearance. Played third in 2015. Sweeping to make this curl already.
Looks pretty good. Yeah, nicely done. I'm a bit surprised with this call. Hey, you work all in to have a chance to get out of it, and on the skips first, this would be the only opportunity you'll get. Trying a little roll to the outside, hoping to maybe bury half around the red stone and still be shot rock.
Han Yu, skip, youngest member of this team at just 20 years old.
And this will move hog line in.
And they don't roll as far as they would like, and that will leave a hit to sit two here for Japan.
Yeah, the only worry is, of course, looking at if this over curls quite a lot, there is a possibility of a jam on that rock that's just barely out of the rings. I have to be a little careful with this shot. A hit and stay anywhere in the rings would set up a force. Pretty nice throw if it's clean, clean, clean most of the way.
It's the best sound as a sweeper.
So no choice here. Make the hit and stay. Take your one.
Very focused young lady here. Last stone of the first end. China looking for a hit and stick for a single.
Looks pretty good. Just cleaning it down the sheet. Nicely done. Good shot.
That will be one for China here in the first end as they take on Japan. They have a 1-0 lead after one.
三点之前是那个对点啊，行啊，就是蹲踏板上那对点。你这个对点啊，有点像第一场，有点大是吗？对 ，OK。行。入ったらヒットでロール。オッケー。でサードコーナー。オッケー。オッケー。結構まんべんなく滑ってるわ。そうだね。いつもより全然滑ってる。そうだね。中ラインもね、13.7でちょうどいいところですね。
Welcome back here to the LGT World Women's Curling Championship. Our feature game between Japan and China. China with a single in the first end, and Japan will now have last stone advantage here in end number 2.
Trying to hit this and roll to the side and stay in the house. Excellent. Oh, a nose hit way out in the wings here. You may see Team Japan throw a corner guard on the next one. It's kind of a worry-free move.
And they will hit and stick there, and as you predicted, Kevin, Japan will now throw up the corner guard.
That's a nice, safe way to get try to get your 2 points. Get the rock, move the play away from forefoot, then throw the corner. This has quite a bit of weight, though, hoping for it not to come into the rings, but it looks like it may.
And our first update of the evening over next door on Sheet B between Korea and Germany. Germany playing with 3 after a couple of members in quarantine. So we take a look at Daniela Jentsch.
Yeah, Eunjun Kim on her last try to out-turn, hit, and roll all the way in. See the red stone in the 12-foot. Daniela had a good look at both and thinks yellow is shot between the two. So this is a draw to the 8-foot circle for 3. And yes, the yellow does look closer. So this is a shot for 3. Now we'll hang on. 3 it is. 3-0. Team Germany. Big start.
It wasn't too bad.
Yeah, really good start for Germany, who's stuck playing with minimum amount of players they're allowed to play with. We wish all the best to the other 2 girls that are in quarantine.
Doing pretty good as a 3-person
Really?
squad.
Yes, they really are.
It's hard work for the for the main sweeper.
Yes. So an opportunity here now for China to sit 2.
I'll try to throw this on the tee line, straight across the house. Leave no double. Basically the same end as we had in the first end.
Yes.
Splitting the house.
Reversed.
Yeah, just try to hold the team to the force. Try to group those rocks. It's too flat across. There'd be no double this time. So try to roll over into the 8-foot or 12-foot and set something up for in the future.
And the sweeper's on this one right away. When you get to that center line, really starts to move. And they will make contact, but will also roll out.
It's very similar. That's exactly how things were going last time. I kept saying, well, you've got to stay and roll it, and then roll out, and now another free draw. And yeah, it's funny. Once they start to go across that center line, you can easily flash the rock and hit nothing.
Yes, you really need to anticipate that curl. They want to get this even. That's the one on the side. Did pretty good. Bring you another update over on Sheet C between RCF and Canada. RCF here with last stone, Kevin.
Yes, and just couldn't really get anything going. So it's a draw to the 8-foot against 3 counters. But they're all sort of in the 12-foot, so this shouldn't be too difficult. This is basically on the path of the draw to the button.
I think the sweepers called it heavy, trying to bring it to that back one, and it over-curled.
No. 2, it looks like 3 to me. 3 it is. Wow, that is a huge miss.
And that will be 3-0 Canada after 1. China again trying to hit the stick. Might be a double opportunity here. A little bit thin, I guess.
A little bit, but it might be worth the try. If you could make the perfect roll, of course, that would be fantastic. That's a difficult thing to do, though, is make the perfect roll.
So ended up making the double. They called it early, knowing that they weren't going to make the roll.
Yeah, good heads-up call. Yeah, getting on it in front of the hog line, knowing that it won't curl enough. Well done. It's kind of a nice end here for Team China, getting to get the draw weight, throwing lots of rocks into the 4-foot area, getting a really good feel for draw weight. That looks good. Right on the button.
So we take a look at Coach Hiroshi Seto. And you see on the right there as well, JD Lind. He's the national coach for Japan. A Canadian. A number of Canadians sitting behind the bench here this week.
Yeah, JD, a very good curler himself, actually, as well.
Been working with the Japanese for quite some time now.
Yeah, quite a few years. I'm not exactly sure how many, but a lot.
A lot, yeah. And Chinese coach, Marco Mariani, is actually from Italy. And then on the right there, you see Pia Lindholm, former world champion and national coach for Sweden, moving over to work with China. Final stone here for Han Yu.
Try to make sure you stay. I think Team Japan earned the blank. This is moving quite a ways. Does it have enough to get it? Oh, just. Good sweeping to save that one.
Yes. Yeah, they really swept that, and then the third was there ready to get that out of the rings. And we will see Sayaka just throw this through for a blank here in the second end, and they will carry the last stone advantage forward to end number 3. China leads 1-0.
那边确实是飘，就是大点。大点是吧？行，大家站位，然后逼他们拿1分。行 ，OK， 正好倒过局来了。行，来吧。
Welcome back here to Win Sport Arena in Calgary. Our feature game, Japan and China. China with a 1-0 lead after 2. Blank end by Japan in the second end, and they will have last stone here in 3. And we see China putting up a guard here, Kevin.
Yeah, the odd end, so third end makes sense, and try to get the force so they have the hammer in the even ends. So that's the thought process. Now, of course.
Yeah, of course, you have to execute.
and Team Japan has something to say about it. They'll be trying to get their 2 points. So obviously with trying to get a reward, like Team China's trying to do, get a reward with the force, there's risk involved. Sometimes that can come back to end up giving up at 2 points. Trying to bury this into the middle. It is open enough to be able to remove it.
See a good shot of it there. Good 3/4 open.
And especially with this much curl. Don't really have to go anywhere near the guard to make the tap.
You just saw it finish quite a bit there.
Same type of shot, maybe get a little inside roll here, if everything is just right. Just fine. It's just going to be a matter of who gets the roll.
And they will just nose there as we take another look at an update here between RCF and Canada.
Pretty good situation here for RCF. Of course, giving up the big 3 last end, but now sitting second and third, just needs to remove the yellow. Looks to me with that ice, maybe playing hard weight just to peel it out and take 2. There would be an opportunity to maybe tap to get 3, but that would be very dangerous. So taking on the peel and just pick it out.
Alina Kovaleva
needs to stay straight though. Don't want to hit the back one. Ooh, no problem. Just missed it. That's 2 points. 3-2 Canada. Canada will have hammer in the third.
And still looking for the roll here on our sheet. Exchanging hits.
Yeah, hit and rolls are the toughest shot in curling because you've got the thrower that has to relate, okay, how I threw it. The sweepers have to relate the speed to the skip. Skip goes, okay, if that's the speed, here's what we need to do. And then the sweeping has to be perfect to make the roll. So it's all that communication comes into the hit and roll. The other shot that's difficult is a perfect freeze, but that takes one thing out of it, the weight. Because you know what the weight has to be to make the freeze.
Right.
So that's why the hit and roll is the toughest shot in our sport.
Looks like they're going to get a roll here, but it might be a little too far. Comes out the other side.
Good try. That was close. Really close.
Good to move the rock around.
Yeah, new spot. This is a new spot. This could curl. Trying to get this by. It does.
And again, will overroll to the back, almost the back 12 foot, but does remove the red Japanese stone. And we move over one sheet to sheet B, Korea, Germany. Germany right now with a 3-0 lead as we take a look at the final stone for Eunjung Kim here in the second end.
Yeah, the rock that Eunjung Kim's going to hit Daniela Inch on her last, that was a freeze attempt into a pocket at the button and just bounced off a little bit. So now this is an in-turn double thin. Try to hit the rock very thin for 3. It's pretty close, pretty close. Really nice, that's 3, I think, yes. That's 3 right back. The field goal kickers are doing well today. 3-3 after 2.
And Japan just sticking around on this hit in the wings. China trying to roll in a little bit.
Yeah, Team Japan is happy with this playing in the back corner. If they can ever blank this end, then have the hammer in the even ends, try to get the 2 points next time. So just an important shot here to stay in the back corner. Don't really want to roll buried behind the center guard. That'll entice a freeze.
Sweepers are working this. Trying to hold it. And they make contact, but will roll out.
A chance to come around that center guard, and this is why they threw it in the first place. If there's ever an opportunity to go around and force to a single or maybe even steal a point.
Both teams seem to be struggling a little bit with hitting.
Over curling, yes, over curling on everything, not under curling really on much.
Last stone for Han Yu.
Wanting this definitely way in front of the tee, top 12, top 8, because the guard is fairly long. By lots. Well, this will finish. Well, it is buried. That's the good news. The bad news is behind the tee line. So thinking of maybe playing the tap, but that rock is 100% buried under the guard. It's not an easy tap. I'm a bit surprised that this is not a very easy shot. It's certainly doable if you can get really close to the guard.
I thought she still might take the other turn, Kevin, as well.
To follow it down, yes, this is difficult.
Also because there'd be that extra movement across the center line.
Well, clean early, so good throw. That's looking pretty good. Fairly close to the guard, wanting to stay. Does get it out.
Just.
But that was a really, really good throw. Just a hard shot to make. Like,
And now another opportunity here for Han Yu to make a better draw.
Now put it in front of the button.
Same line in front of the button. Sweepers on this one early. Maybe trying to throw a little bit less and
might have taken a little extra off.
oh, now they like it. But it looks like this is really, really curling, Kevin. I think it's going to come out the other side.
Almost fully open on the other side, yes. The only tricky part with the peel is that yellow rock that's just barely out of the rings. You're trying to hit a half on purpose, and that's be a real shame to throw a good rock and end up jamming. Looking to see if they could peel it out on the inside, but that's not possible. The guard's in the way. I think it's worth a try. The odds of jamming it aren't really high. That's sort of Yumi's job in the house, is to make sure that it doesn't jam.
Knowing how much they can hit or have to hit. Last stone here of the third end for Sayaki Yoshimura. Trying to blank. Wanting to avoid the jam on the back corner, which they do, but will they get it out? Not quite. And it will stay for a single. And a tie game after 3.
对，这半场会滑一个14秒4、14秒5都能挺好。まだね。まだ滑れるね。
Welcome back here to the LGT World Women's Curling Championship 2021 from Calgary, Canada. We have a tight game here. Tied at 1 after 3 ends between Japan and China. Pretty straightforward game so far, as I'm joined by Kevin Martin.
Straightforward, but well played by team trying to put the center guard for a reason and end up paying off. The Yoshimura on her last, I think, was, you and I talked about it, protecting against the jam, end up turning it just a little bit and not quite rolling out on the blank. So because of throwing that center guard, that kind of added to the problem. So interesting.
2颈线的第2，我感觉还行，力量，力量，可以下线2，给我下线，不用下，不用下，正常擦就行，往下来点。
Throwing the corner guard, there'll be lots of rocks in play this end.
特别好线路，加油起劲，嗨，特别好，再来再来，好球，好球，16秒7，OK。 站位还行，但我不记赢的话，到赢里就结束了。
Japan calling the come around, their center guard.
Trying to get this underneath. It's trying. Well, got about half under, but I think that'll be available.
11秒吧，我觉得也11秒吧，他漏了。这点够了，这点正常做没问题。11秒23，等等线啊，11秒23，11秒，力量没问题啊，11秒2，嗨，11秒2，嗨，打定，王黎呢
Trying to roll to the outside, but it comes up to the nose.
So there's plenty of room to get the little inside roll
挺好的。
with hack weight. Put a little pressure on here. Looks pretty good.
Trying to finish it here now, a little past the guard, but it only reaches the nose.
11秒，好。11秒2，11秒2。
Good numbers for Zhongli Jun.
12秒偏，11秒5，孩子嗨，他这劲儿
This is
小。
really finishing as well.
11秒8，好球，力量小。
It's very weight sensitive. If you're a touch heavy, it'll track, it'll run fairly straight. If you get just to take a little off it, it'll finish hog line in a lot. So if your weight's perfect, you can make almost anything.
The hit and roll, the perfect hit and rolls have been a little elusive for these two teams so far. As they try to roll underneath, and they do, but it does over-roll. Peeks out the other side.
So close. Really good throw. And that's that communication between all the members to be able to make those good rolls on ice that curls this much.
10秒5。
On straighter ice, it's much easier. But on this ice, to make the perfect roll, you've got to communicate very well.
10秒5，看他线路。嗨，10秒5，嗨，Cindy，嗨。
Oh, this is getting close to the line early. Cannot afford to get to the line. Does.
OK， 好球。
It will tick on the guard and
出人小，
roll
有
off.
点这样，然后没加上来，球太在。
Chance for Japan to
是的，可以可以，加油。
put up a guard.
Yeah, guard this up. Absolutely. There's a chance here.
As we've mentioned a couple times already, great numbers for Kaho.
And that doesn't come by accident. Mechanics are really good. Straight slide, lots of rotation on the rock, which is important on icy curls like this. So it's not by chance that the number is 92.
Mm-hmm.
Good shot. Probably have a go at the run back. That makes sense. The outturn tap is probably there, but it's very difficult. This is probably the easier of the two choices.
Guards seem to be the other tricky thing to do on this ice that's moving. Noticed that in a game earlier today. Hard to manage those guards into the correct position.
Lots of weight on this rock. Oh, close. Very nice. All right, really nice raise across the top. Did roll the shooter out, so now with only one corner guard in play. Get rid of the corner. Team Japan's happy with the blank here. Being an even end, they'll try to force in the odd end.
And we go a couple sheets over for another update between Canada RCF. Canada currently with a 1-point lead, and Carrie Anderson here throwing the last stone.
The 1-point lead, but having to draw against two counters, one of them in the forefoot a bit. Well, line looks pretty good if the weight's good. Trying to get it there, drag it to the forefoot. Right to the button. So 1 point, 4-2 now. Canada after 3.
So China putting up a guard on the other side, hoping for a miss. His number's a little on the lower side. She throws a peel here. No problem.
Yeah, keeping it wide open here in the fourth. So Team Japan, they'll change. They'll try to force the issue next end. Team China next end would be happy with the blank. So it's just the way it works with scoreboard management and what end you're on.
中间还挺滑的哈。对，中间是滑的，4秒05，我觉得4秒吧。对，全场14秒5，我觉得。但是进大本营这块可能会缩一点，一点点减，4秒吧，4秒给一点。好，加油。
Bad numbers for Hanyu as she tries to put this in a spot that maybe get a miss out of Japan.
Going way out on the edge. This is where a couple of rocks have stayed straight in this game already. Very good. They were staying straight with the outturn. They'll curl more with the in turn. So this is probably a smart play to stay away from that other turn because there would be some indecision.
We'll take you next door to Korea, Germany, currently in a tie game, and last stone belongs to Daniela Jensch.
And it is an open hit, needs to stay. Nose is good enough. Right on the nose will get a single. The double's too difficult to make the double and roll out, so just try to take your one. Looks just fine. Right on the nose. Good shot. 4-3 now, after 3.
And Japan will stick around, but pretty straightforward blank here. Well, not that they're not all pretty straightforward, but this one I just mean because it's at the top of the rings, they could even almost nose it and
still get the blank. So it's slightly easier than your average blank.
Yes, thank you.
I'm not sure we skips think that way.
Pressure's on, hey?
That's right. Yeah, your team makes every shot. Okay, now your turn.
A little wobble here on the last stone for Han Yu in the fourth end. Attempting a blank. And she'll hit it on the inside and go the long way, but does succeed in the blank, and we remain tied at 1 after 4 ends. Welcome back here to Winsport Arena with LGT World Women's Curling Championship 2021. Japan and China after 4 tied at 1.
Yeah, really close game going here. Looks like one of those games when it's going to be close and just one really good shot or one bad miss will be the difference. We were talking about Team Japan in the 5th, taking some chances. Try to get the force here to try to get the hammer back in 6. So that's the reason for the center guard. Team China happy with the blank. More happy to get 2 points.
Yes.
And get control of this game.
hitting out in the wings. Should curl this way.
Close to getting some roll here.
We'll take you way over to the other side of the building. Sheet D in our first update on United States, Italy currently tied at 1, and looks like a big opportunity here, Kevin, for the U.S.
It is. That yellow rock just out of the rings or back biting. That was the Italian skip's last one, trying to come around the center guards. So this is actually a split being attempted for 4. So wanting to just touch the red rock just out of the house, move it in and roll in yourself. It's close. Trying to hit about half. This looks pretty good.
Very nice.
Well, is it a bigger biter than
4?
It is 4. Really nice shot. Big 4.
Great job, guys.
Yeah, really big, and that's now a 5-1 lead for the U.S. over Italy after 4.
Nice job, guys. Or was it a team shot? I did.
An opportunity now here on our sheet for Japan to make a good come around.
Got a bit of it buried, but just not getting right around those guards. It's good that it ended up in front of the tee line, but you can see pretty much all of it, if not all of it.
Kind of wanting to roll under on this, Kevin, or is it better to go to the wing?
Because they'd like to keep the blank open, probably a roll to the open in the 5th. Now, if this was the 6th end, roll behind. But it's the 5th end, roll the open. Good call, good shot. And now if the roll is made back behind, it'll be behind the tee line. Ooh, this is really moving.
I was going to say, you can see it really moving away from the center line. And they'll just hit it on the nose.
And that's not an illusion.
No.
It is actually,
it's actually not moving.
It is actually moving that much. Ice like this is so much fun to play on because everything's possible, but you have to believe in the curl, trust it, and then you can really have fun.
Yeah, I agree.
Very good. Now a roll would be in the top of the button. So this would be a perfect time to make it.
Sweeper's calling it down a little bit. You'll get a little more curl here. You see it moving away from that center line again. And no roll. Nose hit again.
The sweepers are getting a really good workout on both teams. Every rock is kind of curling too much or over curling. So every rock they're sweeping from end to end.
As a former sweeper myself, I would rather be working all the time than watching all the time.
Watching the draws go too far or the hits not curl enough.
Exactly. Trying to stick around here, and they won't. And will they have enough to get it out? Just.
Does, but now a chance. This is by lots.
Well, they undercurled here once already. Oh, and it just
Picked something up.
heck, that really stopped dead.
A little bit of debris. That was not going to bury anyways. Might have got to the top ring though.
Yes, I agree. That really slowed down fast.
边上掉线大，我觉得能打。先把这清了。啊，咱要投的话，它会粘。来吧，顺时清。
You could go around. They've played that in-turn draw a couple of times 2 ends ago. This might be an opportunity to grab 2 points. But deciding to peel. Thinking of the blank now.
哦，没事啊，再等一等。走，过去。
Oh, and they'll just feather it
行，
over for a double corner guard.
可以。
So got it off the middle, but
刮了一下。可以，行，没事。
not out of play.
对，这滑的特别好，出手就上去了。
And for Team Japan, there's a chance to come around the corner and force the issue. Definitely want to be in front of the tee though. You don't want to give a freeze opportunity. And this coming across the center. This will have no trouble curling enough. Once it gets to the line, it'll march across underneath the guards.
しっかりあったから。オッケー。で後ろまで行く。あ、後ろだ。Tだね。5、6だね。
This is made good. Japan may get their force out of this. After all. First stone, skip stone here in 5.
Well, line is certainly good if they can get this into the ring. Good sweeping. That is buried completely. But because how high it is in the house, there is a chance to even, because of the curl, come right around everything.
Update for you here between Canada and RCF. Canada with a 4-2 lead. RCF here with last stone, Kevin.
Well, that biter at the front, that was Carrie Anderson's last draw to throw 2 in the house. Shannon and Brianne swept that rock every inch of the way to get it in the house by an inch. So now there's no blank attempt. This is a draw against 2 to the 8-foot circle. This does not have anything extra. Well, it got it past the biter. Does not. That's a steal of 1. So that's 2 missed draws to the 8-foot circle for all four of the Canadian points. 5-2 now.
And you see the frustration there on Elena Kovaleva's face.
Shocking to miss 2 draws to the 8-foot like that for Elena. Very good player.
China here trying to come around everything.
Oh, this line looks terrific. Would like to stay in front of the tee, which is a lot to ask.
And it does slide a little bit deep, but stays for shot rock.
It's a good shot. It almost came open on the outside, but try to lock this in. Really only need to bury around the red one in the top 12 an inch or so. Now would make it so difficult to try to get out of the house. This one doesn't have to be perfect.
We move next door to take a look at the last stone for Korea. Germany currently leading by 1, but in a lot of trouble, Kevin.
That rock in the back 8, that was Danielle's last. It's like, where am I going to put it? There's 5 reds covering the button. So I come around to the back 8-foot, and this is a tap for 6. In World Championship play, you don't see taps for 6 very often.
Yeah, and already sitting 3.
This looks good, though. Can he get by the one? Oh, left it a little too long. It's at least 2. 3 it is. Close to 6.
Yeah. And Korea now takes a 6-4 lead. And Germany just dodged a bullet there.
That shot was made if they just sweep it all the way.
So Japan came deep, I guess.
Made the freeze, but the back freeze. Tough to get there.
Yeah.
It is shot stone, so it just needs to be bumped a little. A couple of inches will do the trick. Looks pretty good. This will finish lots. Try to bump the red and not the yellow.
And that will be a score 2 for China. They were very close to that. Other yellow one. Well-managed stone to take the 3-1 lead after 5.
Found a little bit of stuff under that running edge.
Taking a look at that stone that stopped very quickly. Making sure that it's clean for the next throw. We'll take a look at some highlights here from the first half of our game here in the first end, and China with last stone.
Yeah, really, really well played end by Team Japan, keeping the house split pretty much the entire end and forcing this nose hit on the last one. Has to stay for the single. Looks good, just cleaning it into the house. So a really nice shot, but it's only for 1. So good force for Team Japan.
And then to the third end. And Japan with an opportunity to blank here, Kevin, but a little concerned about that one on the back.
Yeah, that yellow rock just out of the house. They had a few looks at it thinking, okay, we can play the peel, but we don't want to jam. So Yoshimura just going, you know what, I'll just hit it a little thicker. And does hit it a little thicker, but doesn't roll out of the house. So tie game, 1-1 after 3.
And then we take you to the fifth end, and a first opportunity that we've seen for a deuce. China trying to tap this one back.
Yeah, Team Japan trying the freeze and end up being just a little bit heavy, and opens up an opportunity here. But watch this with all the curl, trying to bump the red one, but this is diving towards the yellow. just barely, but the made shot. 2 points, 3-1 lead after 5.
So we take a look at the rest of our games, our feature game there on Sheet A. Sheet B, Korea with almost a chance for a 6 and only walks away with 3, but takes a 6-4 lead. And Canada with a 5-2 lead over RCF. And USA with a 5-1 lead over Italy.
We will see. I'm not so sure.
What I like, you also focus on the detail.
Yeah.
So, and this tactic, it's so important to keep that. So,
我快不快？我真的不会的，没有
You know why you miss one? You was a little bit here.
Yeah. 对。Timing.
Is it right? Give rotation.
We'll take a look at the numbers here after 5. Pretty even in the total percentages, but you see the draw percentage a little lower for Japan compared to China, and the hit percentage a little lower for China compared to Japan, and China leads 3-1. Welcome back to Winsport Arena for the LGT World Women's Curling Championship. Our feature matchup here between Japan and China. First 2 of the game goes to China. They have a 3-1 lead after 5. Japan will have last zone advantage going into the second half of the game. China going in okay with the blank here in 6. Wanting Japan to potentially blank this end, as it is an even end, and they do have the last stone rock. Nice game for Yumie.
Yeah, throwing a tight corner here, trying to get it about halfway to the house, a little bit closer with the amount of curl in this ice. Right to the LGT logo, that's perfect. That's about the way to put your corner guards, about at the logo level.
Also a good game for Jiang Shindi.
That does stop short. Didn't really want that in the house, so that's good. A chance to come around the corner and get set up for a multiple score. It's almost like a magnet. When it gets close to that line, it just starts to go. This has lots of weight, though.
Yeah, and even with the weight, it's still going sideways.
That's a bad miss, because the tolerance would even be to come up light and throw another guard would be okay. Through the house is not.
80% game for Zhong Lijun.
That's been pretty well curled. You know, just really that last freeze by Yoshimura coming a little bit heavy. If that ends up on the front of the rock, so 2-1. Well, Team Japan might have to do something with those yellows. Those are aimed right at the button.
And try the come around again. Well, they're starting to help it over there a little more.
And no problem burying it around the corner. Nice shot.
Very
Stayed in
nice.
front of the tee.
Update you here on United States and Italy, US with a 5-1 lead, and the Italian Skip looking at a lot of reds there, Kevin.
Yeah, down 5-1 and looking at 5 in the house, so needing a hit and stay badly. Needs on the nose is good, doesn't need to roll. I think that's good enough. 5-2 now, US, but US has the hammer.
And update over on Sheet C, Canada and RCF. Canada with the 5-2 lead, and RCF drawing for a single, Kevin, I think?
Drawing for a single, but having to draw through a fairly small port, looks like, on the in-turn side.
And has already missed a couple of draws this game.
Yeah, Lena Kovaleva, and doesn't miss many draws usually. Very good drawer. Trying to get this between those yellows into the forefoot. A really good shot. Right on the button, but only for one.
Canada takes the hammer going into the second half of the game with a 5-3 lead. And a nice run back by China on our sheet, and then a short come around by Japan. Now leaves this chance for China.
Yeah, great chance because of the two guards out front. If this could be made into the top button, big trouble. That's why I was thinking Team Japan should have dealt with the two yellows earlier. Those are dangerous stones.
Really good numbers for Dong Jiqi. Trying to get this by. And it just feathers it, but still buries a piece.
Yeah, good shot, no problem.
Now they have to deal with it, Kevin.
Yeah, and it's so late in the end to score your multiple points. Could hit yellow across the top of the yellow. Might knock the red into for a biter, maybe. With a little bit of good fortune here. Just hit it about where the broom is. Oh, got that one going a little bit.
Yes, pointed it a little bit, and the sweepers are on it. Trying to get rid of two here, and she does. And tricky, but still pushes the one in that you were talking about, Kevin.
I didn't envision it getting ticked in that way.
Yes. Actually came off the back of the yellow corner guard, taps the red in.
Yeah, but I guess with curling stones being round, lots of bouncing can happen, and there it does, bounces off and bumps it in. But now Team China has to deal with that red, opens up the rest of the house rather than being able to throw a guard.
Korea, Germany Korea with the 6-4 lead here in the 5th end, and Germany maybe a top for 2, Kevin?
Trying to come around, yes. It's, well, with all the curl here, if the weight's perfect, just back line, get by the guard fairly tight, can get 2 points here. Has to hold this past the red, though. This is really curling. Well, maybe roll in. See if it hangs on. It doesn't. So it's a steal of 1 more. So 7-4.
너무 밑으로 내려갈 것 같아서. Ich glaube, du hast einfach keine Kraft. Macht keinen Sinn, weil es jeden Stein aus der Hand rausbricht.
And they will go to the break. Our game here is already had their break. We're in the 6th end.
Trying to make the roll behind the corner, I believe, but ended up rolling into the middle of the hole.
Really
throw.
great.
Yeah.
Really great numbers for Kaho, both for the tournament and in the game.
会不会有点挡？逆时针直。啊，还行，不倒的。可以，可以，可以。15，行。啊，琪琪这个。好好，加油！啊，加油，加油，加油！10秒吗？10秒5。10秒5。OK， 这一点。嗯。2.5ちょっとカップしようかな。粘一点了吗？不粘不粘，这是挺滑的。
Try to hit this on the nose. Doesn't really want to roll behind the corner instead of a freeze.
Nice game here this evening for Hanyu.
10秒2，格林，10秒23，10秒23，
It's got to be close. Hurry, whoa, hurry, whoa.
好球 ，OK， 可以，好球。
That'll do the trick.
没卡上，我感觉得10秒5。这多大？
Japan is going to take on the freeze, Kevin?
Yeah, freeze or bump it back a little bit, stay in the pocket. Have to get way out, lots of broom to be able to have enough ice to not over curl this one.
Very deliberate in her routine, pre-shot. And good numbers for Sayaka as well.
Line looks pretty good. It is going to start to curl though once it hits the hog line. So that's going to end up on the button. So it ended up kind of halfway between making the freeze and coming right around and burying behind the yellow in the top 12. This is a fairly simple peel. No need to stick around. Just make it go out of the house. In-turn peel.
Also very deliberate in her pre-shot routine. Really zoning in on that target as we see the last stone for Hanyu.
This looks pretty good. Yeah, nice throw, half rock. No problem.
That will leave the same shot for Sayaka for a single.
Even with peel weight, it finishes lots. Hog line in. Now with these ones, you want to make sure you have decided, okay, am I going to play draw weight or am I going to play to the backing? And then be deliberate. Make sure you do what you're thinking.
She did just throw the draw. Last stone here in 6. So we get a look at the hog to hog time.
This looks pretty good. Line looks excellent coming in. Nice shot.
And that will stop on the side of the button for a single point for Japan, and they're trailing by 1. China will have the last stone heading into the 7th. You're watching the LGT World Women's Curling Championship from the Curling Bubble in Calgary. Our feature game here between China and Japan. After 6 ends of play, China leads by 1, and they do have the last stone advantage here as well. I'm Jill Officer, joined by Olympic and World Champion Kevin Martin.
It's been an excellent game so far. Now Team China would really like to blank this end, or even take 2 points if it happened to come easily for them. They won't want to take many big chances. One up with last rock.
Trying to draw to the open side here, and it's a little heavy. And it just slides a little too far.
So throwing the second guard now, I would imagine. Trying to be nice and high, just over the hog line is the call. Still has quite a bit of speed, wants it to stop. So the double peel isn't quite so easy. Has left a little angle though.
As a former second, I would be eyeing that up already.
Yeah, it's quite a bit of angle allowed there. So. Not a bad shot, but not quite perfect.
So now China going to play to the middle.
线路 OK， 6、5区就行，5、6、5、6就别深了，
我觉得好像还行。
不要力量大。后续后续，啊，等一等，感觉能减，减速了，够减，能停前面吗？能。OK。
Line looks good, but doesn't really want to be behind the tee.
能下线，让他踢线。
That stays in front of the tee line. Good shot. That's buried.
再投可能就滑了啊。对，我感觉有。
Trying to tap this back.
Yeah, freeze tap. Try to play tee line weight, and if the line gets good, start sweeping it. Bump it a little bit. Just don't want to be heavy here. The rock will track for a while and not curl enough.
And that might be what we have here is, yeah, the pointing up, that it's a little heavy, so they're not going to get the finish you normally would.
It's trying.
Really trying.
Pretty good.
Yeah, that actually came down quite a bit.
It did come down. It had a different path, a little
And no,
wider.
and no sweepers on it, no brooms on it. And so here's the attempt at the double peel.
Your favorite shot over the years?
I would say, yep.
大力啊，8秒5，带着点，我这儿多，带着点，这儿多，好球！哎呀我去！
Oh, and clips the one off the top of the forefoot. How good is that?
It got everything.
好球！
Giggling a little bit that they caught the third one in the house, but nice throw and a great result.
Well, all you can do is throw the rock right, and that's the reward you get.
Now Japan hitting the open one. Or the only one.
Uh-oh. What a change in just 2 shots. A beautiful double peel with the bonus, and then a miss with the jam, and all of a sudden you're splitting the rings.
For 2.
For 2, just
Potentially 2.
out of the blue.
They were unsure of what to do with that and got caught in between. If they didn't want to leave it too high and didn't really have enough to take it deep.
And pretty much left it in exactly a half rock double.
Yes, probably the worst spot. Those are the ones that you need to make that decision early on and go with it.
Well, clean early. It's a good sign.
And they hit it and just catch it, but don't stick around. Nice shot.
Yeah, really good shot. Yeah, it did the job. Yeah, got it well out.
来点力量。线路 OK 啊，我给了4，线路 OK。 应该出不去。没问题，没问题。好球。好球。OK OK 对。好球。13.7。可以可以。我觉得14.5。不是这个。
Just drawing to the back.
Yeah, there's not much going to happen here. Just hit and stay. And not much you can do to stop a blank here. Just make sure you stay on your last one and make Team China make that last shot, the blank, and go to the next end and try to get your guards a little bit better. The two center guards.
Update here for you on the other side of the building on sheet D, United States and Italy. U.S. with a 5-2 lead and last stone here, but
drawing against a couple. Yeah, a good end here by Team Italy and forcing Tabitha wide. Well, line looks pretty good. It's by. Looks like plenty of weight though. That's why the sweepers didn't really want to get on it. So, it does stop quick enough to not give up 2, but it's 1. So 5-3 now.
And an update also in Canada RCF. Canada currently up 2. And with last stone, but facing a bundle, Kevin.
Yeah, the yellow rock at the top of the house is Carrie's first one, actually, and she double jammed. And Alina Kovaleva came around to the top of the button, and this is a shot to try to bump the back red one and give a point. So this is actually a shot to give only 1. They're going hard, does not want to tick the front red one. Oh, really nice shot. And that is a steal of 1. 5-4 now.
Good brush. 13-6.
And Sayaka playing the hit and stick here. Sweeping to make it curl though. And it will come up enough to hang around.
Yeah, it's the next one that's the important one to hit and stay on.
9.5吧。好，这边有点掉线。好，行。但是蹬着力量就是9.5蹬就行。OK。一点点。
And so Hanyu will just roll to the outside a little bit.
Good hit and stay, and now it's for Team Japan versus the important hit and stay. This one forced the good peel on the last. A hit and stay right on the nose or even roll towards center a little may force Team China to peel away from center with the big curl. Far more difficult to peel that way. They'll be trying to stay away from the jam.
Trying to hold this straight. And they do. So this will be a blank attempt for Hanyu and Team China. Here in 7.
And because of the rock rolling towards the yellow one, now the normal blank, playing to the outside is possible. Had the rock rolled the other way a little, that would have been a risky blank because you could have jammed it against the yellow. Still possible, I suppose, but this would have to, you'd have to almost feather the red to jam. Must be good.
And it is. And that is a blank for China. They will keep the last stone advantage heading into end number 8 and have a 1-point lead.
这局目标非常简单，咱这局拿分就行。行 ，OK。
我也投的大一点，不至于那么多，但是可能就都是大的。加油，加油，加油！这局是关键局。对，咱们还是把关注点放在场地上。
Welcome back to this very good and tight game at the LGT World Women's Curling Championship. Session number 6, day 2, and our feature game between China and Japan. China with a 1-point lead and the last stone here in 8.
Yeah, Team Japan's going to want to place these rocks, so that's perfect, right on the center line. But now the next one needs to be on the center line, but up near the hog line. So there's no double peel. It's not easy to do, but necessary if you want to steal against really good curling teams.
Pretty comparable numbers here between our leads.
Well, see if we can get this high up and on the center. Try to stay away from the double peels. Needs to curl some to get to the center.
I also don't want them too close to each other.
Well, it's better,
it is,
but it's still there for the double peel and roll your shooter off.
China is going to come around those middle ones.
Come around, the freeze will be played, and then the double peel. And that's how it all happened last time, with that beautiful double peel and pick the freeze off the top.
Yes.
啊，感觉还行呢。不行，后来肯定一个人。Hurry， 再来 Hurry。
Taking this one a little deeper because it was a little heavy.
OK。加油！加油加油！啊。
Play the freeze. I certainly like the freeze call versus playing to the top button in this situation.
Agreed.
Play to the freeze, and then if the double peel's not made, now you're sitting one, then you can go top button. But if you go top button right away, there's a real good chance of giving up a 2 or a 3. Line looks good. If the weight's good, trying to get it back.
They won't quite. It'll stop above the tee line.
Now the double peel.
And, Zhongli Jun with a bit of an edge here at second position. This one looks a little further out there.
It's got the peel though. Made the 1.
OK。 这边大力啊，不能这么给，大力的话就正常出手就行，然后这么给上去就不掉了。
So now, unfortunately for Team Japan, there's nothing you can do. You've got to guard shot rock. So now there'll be lots of tries at the double peel. There's, unfortunately, it just is what it is. So guard the shot stone.
Over on sheet B, Korea and Germany. Korea with a 3-point lead. And Germany here with a shot for maybe a couple, Kevin?
Trying to get right on the nose. They've had a few good looks, and they think if this is right on the nose, can get the double on the reds and maybe stay for 3. Trying to be exactly on the nose. Oh, really nice shot. Yellow does go a little bit too far, but a score of 2. Terrific shot. 7-6.
Wollte ich nicht mehr zurückrufen, aber ich wollte einfach nur, dass du nichts machst. Okay. Ja. Okay.
Now China trying to play the double peel. This is curling.
This is close to going back onto their own.
不行不行不行 ，OK 可以 OK。
That didn't work out very well.
No.
Center guards pretty much need to be played because no matter if you come around anything, you'll end up into the hole. It'll be an open hit.
I think they're trying to decide exactly where to put it. That maybe will make it a little trickier for China.
Split center line, I think, is probably the answer, or have it curl across a little. Just don't want to leave a hole in the middle.
Kaho trying to play a center guard.
Pretty much splitting center line. Maybe just a little bit more curl than splitting center. This is going a long ways though. This might leave a hole. Well, pretty good. If there's a hole, it's not a very big one. So now trying to hit the yellow, roll to center, and then have the yellow hit the red and roll in the rings.
对，我觉得可以这样，因为这黄的那种是转的。好，那俩站位的依序。1/3。大力。啊，这边。打到这儿吧。对，打到这儿。啊 ，OK。啊，不用给我那么大点。行。
With that ice, must be trying it with fairly firm weight, throwing it fairly hard.
Sweeper's on this one right away. And they will double them off.
I'd open out the whole one side now for the draw out of the button if needed. So good shot.
So they're gonna call a timeout, have their coach come out, Hiroshi.
It's a pretty important time in the game. Make a plan.
Hiroshi Seto trying to make his way down. Each the teams get the 1 minute timeout, but the coaches get 30 seconds of travel time. But Hiroshi took a minute to have a quick consult with JD before he came, and then as he was starting to come down, the next sheet was throwing, so he stopped out of respect. So now the timeout is already down to 40 seconds, and he's just arriving. Top 8, it looks like, Kevin?
Well, top 8, any high enough so that if the come around tap is made, that won't be shot stone. So something top 8, even bite top 8, near center line, that'd be great. Just want to be buried a little so there's no run back double. So on the center line a little bit, top 8, bite top 8, somewhere in there. Good advice.
These are always the ones you want to make after a timeout.
Right.
If we ever did take a timeout on my second stones, I always felt, you know, extra pressure.
Well, this is definitely curling enough. And into the top 8. Yeah, pretty good. Might have curled a little bit more than what would have liked, but it is buried. So nicely done.
这边磕太难了。对对对。这就是关键局。对对对。现在这
不用着急，不用着急，等赵老师出来。
你说这个球，这头磕其实也不好磕，磕不出去也有可能，磕不出去，要不就投一个，要不就。
You see the
我要投把这个打到。
still get some travel time even if you're at the near end, but he did.
Tell me what you
Coach
think.
Marco Mariani took his time, and you see their translator as well.
要是我们处理完这个，他最后还是往这儿投。
We have to draw.
Yes, draw.
我
We have to draw. I agree.
我力量是
投一个好一点，还是打甩一个？
还有一个想法，打甩这个呢，我感觉那个。
No, I prefer the draw.
But we hammer, we want to.
我觉得打甩之后，然后他
If we draw,
不，打甩之后咱有可能没有他这球进了，他再投一个，有这球进，有可能会没有。
That's a good option too.
我打定呢，打定不好了，
Anyway, we have to play that. Yeah.
打定还是往前投。
Tap
往前。
or it and stay. If you want to go for 1, if you want to go for 2, you have to draw.
如果想拿1分就打，如果想投拿2分，咱们可以投一个，投一个吧。行，我失误去向不行就往后。可以啊，投一个。
Draw. For me, draw 2.
投一个 OK， 没问题。
OK。啊，这
我觉得太深，就这儿最好。
他这13秒85。啊，他这13秒8。啊，我加13秒8。但是他这个线。
Because of how far that red stone curled in the top 8, there's lots of room to come around it into the top 4 right there on the broom, and it'll be very buried. So I like the advice from the coach to play the draw rather than hit the back one. Hitting the back one, you're pretty much saying, okay, we'll just take 1. But with this draw, if you make it really good, you could still get 2 points here. And not much fear of giving a steal because you've got that whole out turn draw to the button.
线路 OK。
6，这个我觉得挺顺的。
可以先等一下，这多。
5、6、
6圈。
5、6，6圈。
线路 OK。
5、6得擦一擦。
可以，
不行，力量小一点。
下线。真得下线。不要抢。
Trying to drag this one.
全力拍吧。
Not sure they're going to get it there.
Well, you definitely didn't want to throw a center guard because that's basically what that is. Yeah, and not even a second shot. So an opportunity here for Japan, Kevin. Definitely now you can go right to the button, top of the button.
Great games by the thirds here, although Kaho's draw numbers are a little bit on the lower side. She's been playing mostly hits though.
Going for the top 8, and that's okay. If it does slide a little bit deep, that's fine too. Terrific opportunity. Just need to bury a little bit of this. Doesn't need to be fully buried on the button. Just bury some, top 4, top 8.
A little more ice.
Not a bad idea.
Nope.
It'll likely curl enough.
This is out there.
It'll warp in there, and only need to bury just a little wee bit of it. Oh, could have swept that a little bit more to get it under. There is a hit and roll possibility.
Wow, and look at those numbers there from our two skips, Han Yu for China and Sayaka Yoshimura. Both having very good games.
I guess that's why the scoreboard is so close. Makes sense.
那得薄一点。对，我感觉11秒甩不动，得稍微往这边多甩点，那得磕到这儿。OK， 他那个老猛了。你看看，不行，
看我那
这俩吧
13秒7，但是那个劲儿加
10秒5吧，因为我感觉11秒甩不动了。我觉得场地粘了，别它掉线了。OK， 对，加油。好。
There's lots of room, 3-4 inches of air, so this roll is definitely possible.
OK， 再少收一点点。
10秒5，带着点。10秒5。
Trying to hit and roll underneath that yellow one and those two guards up top.
Looks close, really close to making it.
Not shot though, Kevin.
Nope, needed to roll a little bit more.
We'll get you updated here on Canada RCF. Canada up 1 with last stone, facing a couple.
Yes, good end by RCF. Didn't really give any big opportunity here, so this is an in-turn draw to full 12, a little better than full 12. But a good force in the 7th.
Just keep a broom on it.
Top 4. Clean if you can. 14-7. We're back 4.
14-7, that's hog to hog. That should be just fine. Right on the button. 6-4, playing 8. Good game.
And we'll also update you on Korea and Germany. Korea up 1 with last stone here.
Playing an in-turn. Unjun Kim to the 4-foot circle. This is a chance for 2. Coming into the house. There's the 1. This looks like a little bit heavy though. Oh, that's maybe a case where you're playing to the backing. But anyway, it's 1, 8-6. Germany with hammer playing 8. Once again, another good game.
So Japan switching sides here. We've seen most of the play on the other side this end, and they're going to play the in-turn. Trying to come in for second shot.
Yeah, trying to bump the red stone that's in the top 8 at an angle and try to get it into the 4-foot circle. Try to straight bump it or a little on an angle.
A little bit fresh over here, having not played it very much.
The line looks pretty good as long as it's got the weight to bump it far enough.
It's close.
It's very close. It's definitely 1 red, definitely.
At the back.
And then the front 2, I'm leaning yellow.
Oh. I was leaning red.
Okay, well, that's okay. That's why people measure.
Yes. We might not find out though.
No.
As China heads down. Oh, now she's coming back to have another look.
Looking at the little split by just touching the outside of the yellow. This is dangerous because if you're touch heavy and it doesn't curl enough, you breeze right by.
13秒7，OK， 好，得13秒12秒9，欧了，加油！
Right now, you're 1 up, playing an even end. If you take 1, you'll be 2 up.
85，拉好，这个点。
Playing in 9, that's a good situation to be in. So make sure of the 1, and if you can manage to split, get to 2, great.
后来挺掉线的。
Last stone here for on you, China, the 8th end.
Trying to hit just a little bit of the rock in the top 8 and then try to roll in. This is a shot for 2. Tricky.
Doesn't have to move it very far for 1.
Trying to play this really skinny. And now hoping to get in. Rolls a little bit too far, but nice try. Good shot. For 1.
没有的，要不就再得小点劲，磕薄点。对，让它转一下就那样。
China will take a 4-2 lead after 8 ends, and Japan will take the last stone advantage, heading into 9. Here we are back at the LGT World Women's Curling Championship in our feature game, Japan and China. China with a 2-point lead. Japan with last stone here, and we're in the 9th end.
Yeah, it's been a good one. Everybody shooting high numbers on the whole sheet. All the curlers playing well, and now Team Japan with hammer 2 down, going after 2 or 3 points. So in the corner guard, looks good, about halfway. Very nice.
United States and Italy, US with a 3-point lead. But a shot here, Kevin, for Italy.
Yeah, an open shot, nice end. Had that rock underneath the corner for a while and maintained the chance for 2, and now needs a hit and stay to get back in this game. This is moving though. Oh, well swept, kept it straight enough. 6-5 now after 8. US has hammer playing in 9.
Yeah, nice shot there by Stefiana Constantini.
Throwing another corner guard, using the 5 rock rule. So wanting about the same depth, about halfway or a little closer to the house than that. somewhere near the LGT logo, and it's exactly perfect. Oh, there'll be lots of rocks in play this end, going into 9. Another center guard being thrown, so there'll be 2 center guards and 2 corner guards before the teams start to move into the house.
Game on.
Definitely game on.
Trying to get this curl. Take a look at RCF in Canada. Canada with a 2-point lead right now, but shot here for Alina Kovaleva, Kevin.
In turn draw to the 8-foot. Velsweeting on her first had a chance to hit and roll, rolled too far. Carrie Anderson on her last had a chance to hit and roll, rolled too far, and now has left a draw for 3. This has to hit the 8-foot, so Team Canada just not making all the shots just right. And that is 3. Good draw. So 7-6 now in 9. Canada with hammer.
Japan here, I think playing a bit of a split maybe, Kevin.
Yeah, and try to roll the shooter on, but this is curling a long ways.
That did not work out so well.
No, that'd be another guard played here. It's pretty inviting. Looking at playing the peel because you don't want to get in too much trouble, but right now, those yellows look really, really good.
Yeah.
What do you think, Jill?
I know, I was thinking the exact same thing. I'm like, do you just start to guard now? And
it's hard not to play the guard. Understanding that when you read the book, the Skip's book of things to do,
right,
you're supposed to peel the guard.
You're supposed to, yes.
At this, the score the way it is.
Mm-hmm.
But
how about you? What do you think?
Oh, I think a guard. Absolutely, it's just too nice.
Looks very juicy.
Mm-hmm. It's worth taking a chance. And willing to take the chance. Throw the guard, try to bite center line.
Germany, Korea up to Daniela Jentsch here throwing the last stone for Germany, Kevin.
Well, that red stone, that was the last shot, trying to corner freeze, a little bit heavy, bounced off. 2 up, could have played the open hit to give 2 and have the hammer in 9 tied up. Decides, no, I'll try the freeze. Doesn't make it, and now this is a hit for 3 to take the lead. Makes it, so huge 3 points.
Gut.
And Germany will go up 1 after 8.
Müssen das sauber durchspielen.
It's been a bit of a wild game over there, Kevin, next door. Lots of rocks in play and handful of 3-enders.
Oh, high score, yes. 9-8 after 8.
And a nice guard made on our sheet by China. Japan in some real trouble here.
And that's why I kind of like the guard. If you make the guard, forces Team Japan into peeling. 2 down and peeling guards. So good call, well made. Trying to go red, yellow onto red. Not quite. Trying to open up the middle, which is certainly the right idea. Throw the guard again. There is no draw into the forefoot. There's no way in.
这一点你就正常进，我输了。加油！偏一，线路 OK 啊？1、2、2学，可以先等一等线。2学，2学先等等线。1学可以下线，1学。下线。
The line looks pretty good.
下来了。
Just
小丽来。
one,
1学也就1。
as long as it's over the hog line, should block the hole.
再来2学。
Definitely, will definitely block the hole.
特别好。
Nice shot. Took away the raise. What to do?
不大挺好的。就是这样的感觉。
Yikes. Calling the team down to have a discussion about what to do here.
Well, the game's sort of on the line now. 2 buried in the forefoot, no draw. Somehow have to make it at least a chance for your skip to score.
これもし渡としてガードするんだったら多分ここだよね。ただ赤使えるのかなと。
そうだね。
かこれ狙うか。
今ゆっくりなのでこうはできないよね。
これを直接。
She liked the double peel on the yellows, but not hitting the outside of the yellow, but hitting the inside. And the yellow that's on the center line might even come back and hit the red one and open up the whole middle.
Yep, I like that.
Having a look at hitting the center line yellow first. The problem with that is the rock is just going to bang into the side one and stay there as a center guard. Interested spectator in the back.
Yes.
Coaches.
It's hard to watch.
Yeah. Yes. So yellow onto red, red onto the yellow in the house.
Wanting this to come up a little bit and catch that middle one, and it does, but it misses everything in the house. It still leaves some guards up there. As you said, Kevin, the way they played it, they were always leaving a guard there.
Right. Instead of playing it off of that one to do the same thing, and then it would have opened up the whole middle. So a chance to guard. It's better than it was, though. But still, tough situation.
15秒，没问题。好嘞，加油，加油。2、3、2，力量小一点啊。
Just
1、2吗？
kind of guard this hole, guard their yellows in the house.
Line looks a little tight early, though. This
就1。合不了。
they don't want this going across center line, and it is certainly going to cross center at least a little bit.
Yeah, that doesn't do a whole lot. Leaves an opening here for Japan.
Well, leaves an opening for the double and roll behind the corner.
滑的有点像不是，但是有点黏了，我这个有点没滑动感觉。
Could make that double and roll behind the reds to the right-hand side as we're looking at it.
Big opportunity here for Japan when they've been chasing all end.
Lots of time on the clock, using up a lot, though.
No timeouts left for either team. Gotta get by the guards.
Looks pretty good. Now, try to make the double.
Over curls and just hits it on the nose.
So a guard again, I would think. Need to take enough ice, though. We need to have ice way over by the edge of the 12 because it curls so much. So this one, hog line in, you can just see it go across that center line.
Yeah, they got caught a little bit, I think. First of skip stones here in 9. China with a 4-2 lead and trying to put some pressure on Japan. This is going to have a hard time staying on the correct side as well, Kevin.
This is curling too much already. This is definitely going to go across center also.
If I was a sweeper in that situation, I would be on that out of their hand. It just curls so much there. It's hard to manage, but if you can try to sweep it early to hold it out there for a while, you might have a chance.
Well, now what an opportunity to hit the red onto the yellow. That red will stay buried, and the shooter could roll behind the corners. A 3-ender is definitely in play. We were wondering if Team Japan would have any shot at all in this end, and now a terrific opportunity. Half rock.
2 missed guards by China and a couple of openings. Again, I think it'll be a matter of them trying to keep this tap on the correct side, Kevin, and not catch the over curl.
You can trust it will curl.
Yes. You need to believe that it will.
Try to keep this straight. This is moving it across the line.
And just curls up to the nose and just removes their own.
Hard to believe. It's hard to trust that it's going to move that far.
See it moving across that center line. It just, when it hits that center line, it just goes. Seems you almost can't even hold it at that point. Or not nearly as well.
So just, take as much ice as you can.
I was going to say China's trying this guard again, trying to keep it on the right-hand side of center line.
Sometimes you almost have to release it with a backwards motion a little bit. Have it skid for the first little while backwards, then have it curl.
See her, she tried to spin it a little bit more than normal.
Spin it backwards.
Yeah,
It had a little bit of a giggle, actually.
Yeah.
It's very unusual. But it looks good. This will be fine.
Going to be a great result, yeah.
Excellent. That's the way to do it. Just that backwards motion.
Yeah, a little extra rotation and finally kept it on the correct side.
Well, an angle raise. Red onto shot stone for 2.
You watch.
Yeah, the
Go ahead,
release.
Ken.
Yeah, it's slid nice and straight, but watch. Release it backwards towards the cushion. Just let it run straight for a while, which it is. It's still running straight, And now you can just see it start to go to the middle when it hits the breaking point. Well done. Really good shot.
Last stone here in the 9th end for Sayaka Yoshimura and Team Japan. Been chasing all end, but now trying to play an angle raise for potential 2.
It's close.
And they hit a little bit too thin, and it'll be a steal of 1 for China. And they will take a 5-2 lead heading into the 9th end. Pardon me, the 10th end.
一定你可以蹬小点劲儿，靠出手往上给点力量，然后这样我感觉出来能控制。小一点，8、6、5、6，线路 OK， 只是力量，可以下线了，6、7。
Welcome back to the LGT World Women's Curling Championship. As we head into the final and 10th end here in our feature matchup between Japan and China. It's been a battle of a game here, but a steal of a single for China in the 9th to take a 5-2 lead.
Time to get the 2 corners up. With the 5-rock rule, three points happen quite often. You need to situate the corners nicely, though.
Right next door, Kevin, on the sheet next to us, there's been 4-3 scores. So, like you said, it's not unheard of.
Good corner. Near the logo. That's the kind of the place you want to put it. Wind this rock right in the top 8 foot, top 4 foot.
Over on the other side, sheet D, United States and Italy also in a battle. US up 1 and has last stone here.
Last stone, but Italy is sitting 2 and both buried. Tabitha Peterson trying to come around with an out turn and bump. Shot Stone in the forefoot. Needs to get this by. Oh, it's by. It's now trying to get a little roll inside.
Very nice.
And does. Really nice shot. So that's for one, though. 7-5 coming home.
Good work.
And Japan throwing up another corner guard, so China, I think, is going to come in here again.
I doubt if they would throw the center guard in this situation, being 3 up. Throw another rock in the top of the house and then start peeling, knowing Team Japan's going to go around the one corner, but then they have to deal with all the mess in the middle to get your 3.
Japan's gonna, with that over curl a little bit by China, be able to come and tap these back. They want to leave them behind the house.
Yeah, try to set up a little pocket behind the button.
RCF Canada also in a battle. Lots of tight games out here tonight. RCF with a 1-point lead, and Carrie Anderson of Canada with last stone.
Definitely a tap for 2, maybe 3. It was hard to tell the 2 rocks at the front of the house who's better, but Canada has second shot in the back, and this is a hit and stay for 2. This is wide, though. This has to curl. Needs to stick around. It does not, and red is second shot, so that is a big miss. That is only for 1.
And so that game is tied up, playing the last end as we take a look at Korea and Germany. Germany with a 1-point lead. And Eunjung Kim with last stone.
Trying to hit a half rock and trying to knock it through the hole between the 2 reds. Doesn't quite. The yellow sticks around there. It looks like it should be 1 red, and it is 1 red. Tied up, coming home.
Lots of tight games out here tonight, Kevin. A nice shot there by China.
Yes. I'm a bit surprised going around the corner here. Could bump the yellow, bump the red back, and stay on an angle up front in the pocket. By going around the corner, you'll probably just see Team China hit the top yellow and take that red one out. Has to get to the rings, though.
And it will be short and touch the guard.
It's a really inviting situation in the house for Team Japan to bump the freeze back 8, sit between the 2 yellows, and neither red stone would you be able to remove either one. It's a great situation to set up for 3. I'm really surprised Team China doesn't just hit the yellow, knock the red out. Really gets rid of the chance to give 3, really, by making that shot, but peeling the guard.
And they do. No problem.
But 3 guards versus 2 guards doesn't really make any difference. So that wasn't significant.
Japan deciding to go around the corner again, Kevin.
Yeah, need to bury this one.
A little extra weight, I think, so it ran on them. And
Now, quite an easy double. Can go off of either one. Just throw it hard into the middle, and they'll both find their way out. The two reds.
And there they go.
Very good. Good shot. That's exactly what was called.
That goes back to your point, Kevin, about Japan. If they had taken the opportunity to tap that one back and spread their rocks out and
Take away that pretty easy angle no matter what you did near it. That's right. This may come right out into the open if it stays in the rings.
it looks like it's going to curl enough to come down to that yellow one at the back. Did you like that call, Kevin?
Well, at this point, you're in a kind of a tough situation because even if you would have made the come around the corner, the first shot is peel the corner, second shot's an open hit. The problem was earlier.
Yes.
Leaving those frozen rocks together. So this is pretty much an open hit. A very well curled game.
So chance here for Han Yu of China to end this game. Floating out on them a little bit here.
Well.
And they just knows their own on the outside.
So need to make a double on this one. Without jamming on that back red one.
Sayaka Yoshimura trying to get rid of a couple of these yellows and hide somewhere. Curling off the line. And they overroll, leaving an open shot again for Han Yu. And a second opportunity for China to end this game.
Needs to make contact though, because that is a fairly simple double in the middle. This is the straight part of the ice here. This is where there's been a couple of misses on the outside.
Last stone for Hanyu.
8秒5，
齐线，
加油！哇！嗨！加油！
A little tighter on this one.
齐线，嗨！
And she will make contact.
好球！
And that will be game. China will
Thank you.
take that game. Final score 5-2.
Thank you. 这就是中华车手。刚才那个有点搞笑了。那个登出了7秒96的成绩。
哇，我想想啊
不，是，因为我滑的时候快出手，这球把我带的时候，我怕我一出手球就拐下去，然后所以我就给了那么大，然后就上去了。
今天场地基本上是第8局，
后来太黏
第
了。
7局，第8局很夸张，第7局有1点。
And we're going to join the finish of this game between Korea and Germany. High scoring game, tied at 9 here.
Nur Länge.
And Germany does have the last stone.
Nur Länge. Komm schön.
Already sitting one.
Nur Länge.
Trying to come into the top 8 foot here.
Gar nichts. Gar nichts. Gar nichts.
Might be coming in a little bit deep.
Okay.
Well, not too bad, but does maybe give a bit of a freeze chance.
Gut. Ist auch gut.
Korea calling a timeout.
Ganz schön weit.
내리고 위에 올리는 게 나을 것 같아. 그리고 얘가 이렇게 때리면 얘가 있어. 있긴 있어. 웨이트 열? 지금 웨이트. 지금 아이스에서 열 해도 여기까지 딱 대고 우리 이렇게 여기 딱 서면 좋겠네. 아니면 진짜 딱 이게 제일 좋고 먼저 맞지? 그리고 우리 거 딱 여기 이게 제일 좋긴 한데. 9.
열은 해야 되잖아.
9 열. 네, 약간 탭해서 백웨이트로 해놓고 우리 거 위에 올려놓는 게 나을 것 같은데. 탭이 나을 것 같아. 최대한 여기에 걸리게 해서.
여덟. 여기서 하면 짜고
지금 거기까지. 방금 릴리스 조금 많이 못 주긴 했는데. 네. 여기까지 잡자 그래도. 약간 바깥으로 내려와야 되는데. 너 맞나?
좀 주면은 많을 것 같긴 한데. 여기 어때?
아. 좀 비슷해도 끝에 떨어지긴 그래도 내려갈 것 같긴 한데. 일단 웨이트가
And United States does pull that one out and wins 7-5 over Italy.
방금이 3? 1 일반.
As Eunjung Kim gets ready for her final stone of this game. Trying to play a
그린해.
corner freeze. Trying to make this curl so that they can tap it because it was over curling and it won't go far enough, and Germany will win that game over Korea, that very high scoring game, and it'll be a final of
많이 못 내려갔어?
10-9. And a second win for Germany playing three-handed. A couple of members stuck in quarantine.
Ich muss jetzt machen, deswegen immer spielen muss. Ich kann immer. Ich habe einen Puls von 700 gehabt, mindestens. Ich konnte nicht mehr. Ohne Witz, ich hab schon Atemübungen gemacht.
Also, das zeigt noch wohl.
Alter, wie geil sind wir eigentlich?
Some relief there by the Germans to pull that one out. And the final stone here for Alina Kovaleva and RCF in a tie game and a draw for the win here against Canada. Missed a couple of draws earlier in the game to give up some points to Canada, who had a 3-point lead at one point. Needs to be almost forefoot here for the win. And it is perfect, and that is a win for RCF over Canada. And Canada drops to 1-3. RCF moves up to 4-0. Big win there for RCF, and some disappointed and frustrated faces on Team Canada, but thank you for sticking with us for all these exciting finishes. Some highlights here from the second half of our Japan-China game, and Japan facing 3 here in the 6th end.
An in-turn chance here. Yoshimura just made this shot on her first one, and Hanyu peeled the rock out, so now it's another draw to the button. And very nice throw. Right on the side of the button for 1 point. Nicely done.
And to the 8th end, last stone here for China.
Tough situation, maybe looking at 1, maybe 2, needs to angle bump the yellow rock in the top 8 foot into the 4 foot. Hanyu's actually looking at trying to hit this thin and ricochet in for 2. Does push the 1 in, rolls a bit far, but got the 1 point.
And to the 9th end, this was a end that Japan was chasing the whole time, Kevin, but had a bit of a shot here for 2 maybe.
And it was close, like right away, clean, looking good. Whoa, yes, whoa, yes. It had a chance, and this is just off the nose for 2. Clean, and then, oh, just hanging out a little bit. Needs to hit about 3/4. Hits about a half, a little bit thin, so that was a big steal. 5-2 at that point for China.
And China does go on to run Japan out of rocks in the 10th end and take that win. Just to recap, China over Japan, Germany with a big win over Korea, and RCF with a big win over Canada, and the United States defeats Italy. And there are your updated standings. RCF at the top of the board with 4-0. Scotland, Switzerland, Sweden also still undefeated. China, Czech Republic together at 2-1. Germany, United States at 2-2. Denmark and Japan at 1-2. Canada drops to 1-3. And Estonia, Italy, Korea still looking for their first wins. And that is all for us today. Thank you for tuning in and checking out all the action here from the bubble in Calgary and the LGT World Women's Curling Championship. Be sure to tune in for Day 3 action tomorrow.